Hey, everybody. So last week we started talking about a local situation at one of the high schools, Oneida City School District in Madison County, which is always weird to say, especially because Madison County is right next to Oneida County. It's always weird to be like, yeah, Oneida's not an Oneida.
I thought our conclusion was we didn't know what county it was in.
No, you said that because you didn't want to like admit that you were wrong.
We looked it up and the map makers couldn't decide.
Yeah, they were unsure because of how close it was.
I think it was gerrymandering.
Very gerrymandering.
Totally. Yeah. Let's get Jerry on the
We
line.
could talk about that too.
Gerrymandering.
Yeah. So, but at the time, so I kind of outlined for everybody how they had selected a school in Syracuse to use for their students. Essentially, some big storms hit in our area in June. Some tornadoes even touched down physically and rendered the high school in Oneida unusable for the next year. And they had agreed to use an no longer being used high school in Syracuse that belonged to the Catholic Church. And apparently, they voted on it, and I don't know if they just like voted on it and didn't walk through the school or what, but they finally walked through and were like, this is going to take more time than we have.
Oh, so that's why that
one fell through.
It wasn't able to. They didn't check that before they came to this important decision.
I guess not, or maybe they just it was like a quick glance, and like when they actually like were like, all right, what do we need to make sure this school is
one person walked
used?
through and they got some bad intel.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
So and it's
I would have given great intel.
right. So they had to cancel for that reason, and so 3 weeks out from school, what are they going to do? They settled on a plan that had been floated originally, which didn't sound good then, and it doesn't sound good now. And they still haven't fully released all the details yet. But Oneida has a middle school, like most places do. They have one middle school, and they are going to split the day in half. So in the morning, the high school kids will be attending the middle school, and in the afternoon, the middle school kids will be attending the middle school.
So
They're only doing half days.
For the whole year for 6 through 12.
And so in that
I know.
half day, they're going to get their full day worth of information from the teachers each day.
So that is one of the details that has not yet been revealed. We don't know if they're going to extend the school day, so these halves are longer
they're
than
do
halves.
hybrid days.
Can I ask you a
half
question?
at home, half at school.
That might be
That's probably
part
what
of
they're
how they
gonna
do it, which is the problem is, and I'm sure they'll get a waiver from the state, but it goes against the whole no tech bell to bell thing. But so they're gonna have to figure out that, as well as the logistics of getting all these kids like tablets, laptops, whatever, if they don't already have them.
And don't they use the same buses to get the kids home as they need to get the other kids? The bus drivers are going to be working.
I would
overtime.
imagine no, because the middle school and high school operated around the same times, like versus elementary. So they probably had their own buses.
Well, what I mean is the middle school and high school.
Yeah.
They have to.
I'm saying
they're going to be doing double time.
Well,
because.
But I'm saying, so last year though, like when everything was normal, the middle school and high school both started at like 7:40, so they each had their own set of buses. So it shouldn't affect.
Right, but now they don't need. Only need half as many.
Oh,
and
well,
the bus drivers
anything,
are going to do
money.
twice as much. Because they're going to have to do either it's going to be
Pick up
separate
a
bus
drop
drivers
off,
doing
pick up
each.
a drop off the same day.
Right. They're going to do 4 runs instead of 2.
That, or I mean, if that's the case, they'll probably just do the high school bus drivers work that first half of the day, and then the.
What I was wondering is for you, like substitute teaching, what was that going to mean for your paycheck?
That's a good question. So
Do you get paid for a full day?
I'm not on the list for Oneida at present, but guess what?
Now you want to get on it.
No, I put in an application last week because I want to see where this shit goes.
Yeah.
So, we'll find out. I might be able to do an insider expose.
Exactly.
So that's all they could. That's all they had left. Then
That's all they had
obviously, I
left.
wouldn't think that's their first choice.
It was probably their last. Well, the very last choice was probably full remote, which like nobody wanted.
Oh, that's true. Right? No.
I bet they're gonna. I can almost guarantee they're gonna do half remote, half a day at school. So they're still getting the socialization by going into school, but they're not cutting their day short by doing half.
That or maybe they'll make them do the classes that they have to do in person, and then make them do like homework, etc. for the rest of the day.
But now also they're gonna bring in like who's gonna go first?
High school has been said they have the AM schedule.
So they're gonna bring all the high school kids in with all the high school teachers.
Yes.
do everything in the morning,
Yes.
and then everybody, including all the teachers, leave this room, and another whole group of students and teachers are going to come in and use the same rooms. So it's going to be hard to have your room set up because it's not just your room
It's
anymore.
chaos.
I
That's
imagine
gonna be really
that's
hard on the
but that's
teachers.
going to be like the last thing on their minds because it's just a matter of like they need to get kids somewhere and they need to instruct them. You know,
I don't mean it for the administration. I get it, but for the teachers, it's going to be very difficult.
it sucks, but it's not like they can't be done. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Anything can be done, but
Anything can be done, but I mean, you like a lot of times. I'm sure they leave their rooms set up a certain way. There's going to be a whole nother class in there for half the day.
I mean, to tell you the truth is, I mean, I see a lot of classrooms now where they don't have to move, and they're pretty bare bones these days. You know, they put up some posters and some things, but like it's really all comes down to like if you're a class that's heavy in like materials that aren't leaving the room or not. You know what I mean? If you're a social studies class and you're using books, and the truth is, a lot of this stuff's it's all digital. I mean, like you know, they pull it up on their smartboard, and the kids are pulling it up on.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have?
I mean, some of them still have textbooks, but it just depends on the class. Like English
Well,
classes,
the
they still
kids
have
don't
books.
have like laptops at their desks, do they? Or is that how it
Most
is?
They
kids
take them
now,
with them.
when Kylie was in school, she had a laptop.
Yeah,
that they
so
used to
most
bring
of
in.
these.
So you bring your own laptop in and use it for all your schoolwork?
Yep.
Well, so most of the districts will issue them like Chromebooks that they're like using
Chromebook was
for
one they used, yeah.
for like their entire like school career until that or until they get upgraded, whichever comes first.
Oh.
So like you're like every year.
So
you know-
every student has one of them, and that's what they. Oh, so that makes a big difference. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a lot. I think it's a lot cheaper than having like stationary computers in schools that like a lot of places would. Because one, laptops are just cheaper, and two, they probably get a
Well,
bulk
that's what I
rate
mean.
from
Like now, if you had a
you know,
laptop, I mean, if you had your own desktop computer,
yeah.
you could never do this in and out. And
No.
Some other kids use and you're saying.
I mean, and depending on the class, some of them do. I mean, like I've covered for tech teachers, and those rooms do still have like stationary computers because they, you know, they're like, okay, these computers have specific programs loaded
They're all
onto them.
learning from that one specific program. On
well,
that
now,
computer.
so they're going to do half a day of school,
Yes.
and that's going to be their complete day of school, or is there going to be
That's,
other?
like I said, I'm betting they're going to do
again,
remote
this is-
for half a day.
This,
there for
this
half a day.
detail has they're very sparse on
Well-
details. All they did was announce that this is what's happening, and
But here's the
you know,
thing:
they're going to start disseminating.
Right.
when they were doing remote, the teacher would be in the classroom with no students.
Well, they're probably at home doing it.
Or yeah,
So the teachers are all going to have to go home
And
and
then
get
set
on
up.
their
Yeah.
thing and do. Oh,
There's
then they'll have it
probably-
set up because they'll be doing it
I'm
every
sure
day.
they will
I
be.
guess.
Yeah. It'll be
Well,
for
I
a
guess
year.
if you know you're doing that for the
Now,
whole year.
The only hole to poke in your logic for that is because people, you know, have to get bussed home. Not everybody lives in the same spot, and you can't guarantee that they'll all get there in time for like a period to like, you know, like, hey, we're
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
be
it's gonna take
remote
some time.
from this point forward.
Well,
like,
what's the average length of time for a bus ride for a kid in school? In
Chris
Oneida?
used to be 45 minutes to get
I mean,
home.
they can just do it during their lunch period, whatever your lunch period is supposed to be.
Right,
Give,
well-
give them all a lunch period, then a study hall, then the classes start.
well, that's why I'm saying I wonder though if they're gonna like if it's gonna be as structured as that, or if it's gonna be
Well-
more like you have like study hall, lab time, like all things that you can kind of do on
well,
your own
and there's
time.
probably not going to be gym.
no, they
Well,
won't.
or gym would be
Well, I'm
one
saying
of the ones
that's
you
a
have to
period
do
you
at
could
home.
get rid of. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
Or,
can get
I'm
rid of
sorry,
gym.
not at home. You
You're
have
going to
to
get
do
rid
that
of no
at
more
gym.
study
There's gonna be
halls,
time for 'em to do it
obviously.
if they want
And yeah, so they could use that lunchtime. Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're just going to let them do half a day at school and that be it for the day.
No, in fact, I don't think they can. Like legally, there's
they have to have a
kids
certain number of
have to have
hours
some a certain number of hours. Yeah. Yep. Which
It's not going
also
to be
is-
their proper year of learning.
No, it sucks.
but
Again,
No,
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be a
crappy
be
year.
like a COVID year again, basically for this entire class. In fact, and the worst part is the middle school kids would have been unaffected if they had gotten the high school kids from another school or
to
whatever.
anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. So now both the high school and middle school are affected.
That's true. They're doubling the amount of people that they're.
Yeah, and now all the middle
Harder.
school parents that maybe didn't have a dog in this race are now going to start speaking up and saying, "Get this
Well,
taken
now the
care of."
problem with that, like you say, is now these middle school kids are going to be home while their parents are at work when they normally would be at school.
Right.
So now what are they going to do
They
for
got to make sure those kids get on the bus.
on the bus, off
And
the
they're
bus?
just
Make sure they
finding
don't
this
and,
out.
skip.
and are they? Some of them might not be mature enough to stay at home by themselves.
And they're just finding
Right.
this out in the middle of August.
Yeah,
Right.
They've
got like
I said,
3
you have 3
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So I'm,
Well, we're going to have to revisit this,
is
again then.
this is
too.
an ongoing story for the two studs and a dud.
All right. We need you to get into
in
that
there.
school system.
So stop talking shit about him
We
until
need
you
an
get
inside man.
I haven't
Get
talked
in
any
there.
shit yet.
I feel like
I feel like you've been talking a
I'm
lot.
pointing out exactly what's happening. The fact that it is shitty is no fault of mine.
I feel like you have an attitude.
A little bit of attitude.
That's just me copying an attitude with you.
You have
Whatever.
a little bit of attitude today too. I'm the only mellow one today.
Well, because
Because
you're staring at WWE divas.
Well, the problem is I didn't go to the gym and get my blood pumping yet, so I'm a little low energy.
That's
it's
true.
pumping.
I'm a little low energy.
It's
right now.
pumping.
This
Just
is
not
too
in
early.
not
I
in the
gotta
right
get a
place.
workout in myself.
This is still too early for me.
Yeah.
Usually I've already been through the gym. I've got my truck washed, and we come in and do it today.
You ready to eat your Taco Bell?
Taco Bell would be already be through the
Taco
system.
Bell. Maybe
But
I'll have
no,
that for
because
breakfast.
of you and your shitty schedule. We're doing this at friggin' 8 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
8 a.m. in
to
the
be
morning?
clear,
Yes.
I did not have to be somewhere until 1 o'clock. We could have done 11 just fine.
Ugh.
Well, then what
Why
happened?
did we do that?
That was
You're the
your
one
idea.
that said we couldn't do 11.
No, I didn't.
I think you did.
I did not.
That's the reason we switched the whole thing. You
All
said
I
you
s-
wanted to do it at 10. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't give us enough
10's
time to work
terrible.
out.
10
Oh,
is
yeah,
good.
10's too hard to get a
So all I
workout
did
in.
was ask till 10. I didn't say 8, though.
Well, I said 8 because 10's too hard.
Whatever. You're hard.
Kind of.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to go now.
We'll update you guys on the Oneida situation.
We're going to have to cut this last part.
This segment is done. Okay.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Two Studs and a Dud. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.